right, we're going to talk about endometriosis. This is a doozy. This is a doozy. I will say this, okay? I'm Dr. Beth Westie, women's health and hormone expert. I am the author of the books, The Female Fat Solution, The Female Menopause Solution. I've worked with thousands of women across the globe on a lot of health conditions, and really what I recommend is using nutrient changes, sometimes supplementation to really help support your body to regulate your hormones naturally yourself. And when we talk about something like endometriosis, some of the information that comes out is, I want to say, less than helpful, or sort of half information, it seems like. Or you're like, I don't know what to do with this. So endometriosis is, it's a condition where you have that endometrial tissue that goes to different parts of the body. And it decides to like have a party somewhere else and hang out somewhere else, and that's where it's going to be. Okay. A lot of times when we talk about endometriosis, what causes it, they don't know. There's no official thing like you have this that directly causes endometriosis. A lot of times there's some similar factors that you can take into account of a group of, say, 100 women that have endometriosis. They will have 90 of them will have certain things in common. But that doesn't mean that it's all of them. So again, this is one of those things where it becomes harder to officially diagnose because there's no direct A causes B exactly all the time. So keep in mind as I talk about this, if you're like, this doesn't really match for me, that's okay. Right? And this is why I recommend doing hormone testing, Dutch testing, and then creating a specific plan for you individually. Really, really tailoring it to exactly what your body needs, because your body can be responding differently than somebody else's. So to learn more about my Female Hormone Solution program, just go below this video, click the link, get on the wait list. If you have any other questions on that, don't hesitate to reach out to me personally, because I know stuff like this can be really confusing, especially when some of the information out there is like, sort of, this matches for me, this really doesn't, I don't understand this sounds weird, right? Yeah, I totally get it. So some of the things with endometriosis that when I talk about, 90 out of 100 women will have these things in common, I'll be honest, some of it is genetics. And a lot of times that can be related to, I'm just going to put this here, MTHFR, or how you process B vitamins, your body's ability to methylate. It can be related to other factors, things like that. There's also a huge correlation of people who have endometriosis as well as PCOS. Huge correlation there. Endometriosis as well as adenomyosis. I shouldn't put that there like that. That's not quite right. I'll put a comma there. That was really messy. Okay. But PCOS or adenomyosis, these kind of go all hand in hand, and you might have all three. And sometimes if you've been diagnosed with endometriosis, they sort of stop looking. And so if you still have other issues, they won't necessarily, oh yeah, that female problem you're having, that's from your endo. That's from your endo. It's really important to understand everything you have going on so that you can target it specifically and really identify with it specifically. So there is that. And there's a lot of other these factors here. So your own, I'll say health history also plays a role in this, right? Your own health history, illnesses, injuries, stressors, your overall lifestyle, diet, all that stuff can play a role. But the biggest driving factor that I have seen with women with endometriosis and causes this right here. It's this right here, excess estrogen. Like when we're talking about what's actually going on in the body, it is that excess estrogen that your body is either producing too much and you don't have enough progesterone to balance it out. Estrogen and progesterone sort of counterbalance each other. So you don't have enough progesterone to keep the estrogen in check, or the estrogen just gets out of control, right? Fat cells are estrogenic. There's other xenoestrogens that are in our environment and things that we get exposed to. So there's just too much going on in the body, and or your body does not do a good job processing that estrogen out. Those are the two factors that really come along with this of why this is happening. I'm getting too much in my system, and or I'm not filtering it out. And how do you filter it out? Detoxification and methylation. And when we talk about detoxification, methylation is a part of detoxification. So again, this is a genetic factor, right? And if you're thinking, gosh, maybe do I have this, but maybe other people in my family don't have this, I don't know. you might not know. This might not be something that people talked about or didn't do testing on or something like that. So keep that in mind. It might not be something that you just know because you just don't know. But these are some of the biggest reasons and causes for endometriosis that drive that factor. And once you have endometriosis, it's really tough to get on the other side of it. I'll be totally honest. You have to be really diligent, very consistent, and really take care of yourself. In fact, a lot of people are actually, I'm going to write this down. They're actually looking at endometriosis as being classified as an autoimmune reaction because it's an autoimmune-like reaction because of its ability to run rampant and flare out of control again. And other things like change in diet, change in lifestyle, stressors in your life. And the top stressors are like birth, death, marriage, divorce, moving, job change, and just other global things, right? Like a pandemic, right? Like those types of stressors can trigger an autoimmune flare for people. And this would go along with that for sure. So this is important to understand that when we're talking about endometriosis, it's important to recognize that really getting your system regulated, really getting your system, taken care of is going to get you the best results possible. So that's what I got for you today. Please let me know if you have any questions. Don't hesitate to reach out because I know this can be a confusing topic, but I'm really excited to talk about this. And if this is something you've been struggling with, getting a Dutch test and understanding how to work through that and the right recommendations for you specifically are going to be very, very helpful. So that's what I got for you today. Let me know any other questions. If you do want to make a comment, I do respond to comments. Otherwise, I will see you later.